Have you ever wondered how easy it might be to fall prey to financial fraud? Let's dive into the shadowy world of financial fraud, a domain where tricksters and con artists employ cunning strategies to outsmart even the most vigilant among us. Financial fraud, in its simplest form, is a deceptive practice intended to provide an unfair or unlawful gain. It's a term that covers a broad spectrum of misconduct, ranging from simple bait-and-switch tactics to complex Ponzi schemes. Now, you might be picturing a shady character in a dimly lit room, pulling strings behind a computer screen. But the reality is far more intricate. Today's financial fraudsters are increasingly sophisticated, exploiting advances in technology to devise ever more elaborate scams. They are masters of manipulation, preying on our trust and our lack of knowledge. Perhaps you've heard of the infamous Nigerian prince scam, where you receive an email from a so-called prince who promises you a hefty cut of his fortune in exchange for a small processing fee. Or maybe you're familiar with phishing scams, where the fraudster impersonates a trustworthy entity to trick you into revealing sensitive information. These are just the tip of the iceberg. With the rise of cryptocurrency and digital banking, we're seeing a new breed of scams. Modern fraudsters are weaving complex tales of overnight fortunes, exploiting our dreams of financial freedom and our FOMO, fear of missing out. They're using social engineering to tap into our emotions and cloud our judgment. As we journey through this labyrinth of deception, we'll uncover the anatomy of a scam, explore other types of fraud, and discuss prevention strategies. We'll also talk about your legal recourse should you ever fall victim to such scams. This journey is not meant to scare you, but to arm you with knowledge. Because in this intricate game of deception, ignorance is not bliss. It's a weakness that fraudsters are all too eager to exploit. As we delve deeper into this world of deception, remember this: knowledge is power. How does a typical financial scam unfold? Let's delve into the infamous Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme to understand the anatomy of a financial scam. Madoff's scam was a classic Ponzi scheme, named after Charles Ponzi, who duped thousands of New England residents into investing in a postage stamp speculation scheme back in the 1920s. At its core, a Ponzi scheme is an investment scam that pays returns to its investors from their own money or the money paid by subsequent investors, rather than from profit earned by the individuals or organization running the operation. In Madoff's case, he used his charm and reputation to gain the trust of wealthy individuals, charities, and even celebrities. His firm promised remarkably steady returns, something that is virtually impossible in the volatile world of stock trading. Yet, people believed him. Why? Because Madoff was a former chairman of NASDAQ, he was respected in the industry, and he had a track record. It was all about trust. But here's the catch: Madoff was not actually making any trades. Instead, he was using the money from new investors to pay off the old ones. This created the illusion of genuine returns. To keep up the charade, he fabricated trading reports showing that investors were making money. However, as with all Ponzi schemes, this house of cards eventually collapsed. When the economic downturn hit in late 2008, investors began to pull out their money. Madoff couldn't keep up with the withdrawals, and the scam was exposed. The fallout was catastrophic. Investors lost billions of dollars, and Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in prison. So, what can we learn from this? Trust should never replace due diligence. Even the most respected individuals can fall into the trap of greed. The Madoff scandal serves as a sobering reminder of the lengths fraudsters will go to deceive their victims. Don't fall prey to such scams. Always be vigilant. Question things that seem too good to be true. And remember, if it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it probably is a duck. Or in this case, a scam. Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme is just the tip of the iceberg. In the murky waters of financial fraud, countless other types of scams lurk beneath the surface. Let's dive deeper to explore some of these. First up, we have phishing scams. These are crafty digital traps set up by fraudsters to trick you into revealing sensitive information. A prime example is the infamous Nigerian prince scam, where the scammer, posing as a wealthy foreign dignitary, requests your help in transferring millions of dollars. In return for your assistance, they promise you a hefty cut of the money. But spoiler alert, there's no money, and you've just handed over your bank details to a criminal. Next, we move on to identity theft. This is where a fraudster assumes another person's identity to commit fraud or other criminal activities. A classic case study is the Equifax data breach of 2017. Personal data of nearly 150 million people were stolen, leading to numerous cases of identity theft. Fraudsters use this stolen data to open new accounts, apply for loans, and even file fraudulent tax returns, leaving the victims to deal with the aftermath. Last but not least, we have investment scams. These scams promise high returns with little to no risk, a clear red flag. A notable example is the Zeek Rewards Ponzi scheme that swindled over $900 million from its investors. The company promised significant returns for small investments, but in reality, it was using new investors' money to pay off the older ones. And there you have it, phishing, identity theft, and investment scams. Each unique, each damaging in its own right. But remember, knowledge is power. By understanding how these scams work, we arm ourselves against becoming their next victims. As diverse as these scams might be, they all share one common trait. They prey on the unsuspecting. So let's not be unsuspecting, shall we? So, how can you protect yourself from falling victim to these scams? First things first, vigilance is your best friend. In the world of finance, information is power. Keep a keen eye on your financial statements and transactions, and don't be afraid to question anything that looks suspicious. It's your money, after all. Next, equip yourself with knowledge. Understand the common types of scams and how they operate. Familiarize yourself with the telltale signs of fraud. For instance, unsolicited phone calls or emails offering too good to be true investment opportunities are often red flags. Research is your shield. Before you invest your hard-earned money, do your homework. Check the legitimacy of the company or individual you're dealing with. The internet is a treasure trove of information, and a quick search can save you from a financial disaster. Don't forget the golden rule of investing. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. High returns with little to no risk? That's a classic scam playbook. Be skeptical and don't let greed cloud your judgment. Also, keep your personal information under lock and key. Scammers can't defraud you if they don't have access to your sensitive data. Be wary of who you share your information with, and always ensure that your data is being transmitted securely. And finally, be cautious with who you trust. Scammers often pose as trusted authorities or loved ones to trick you into handing over your money. Always verify the identity of the person you're dealing with before you divulge any information or make any transactions. Remember, scams are like a game of chess. The scammers are always trying to outmaneuver you, but with vigilance, research, skepticism, and a strong grip on your personal information, you can stay one step ahead. In the fight against financial fraud, your best defense is a good offense. What happens if you do fall victim to a scam? In the unfortunate event that you find yourself a victim of financial fraud, you're not without options. Legal recourse is available, and it's crucial to act swiftly and decisively. The first step is to report the fraud to your local law enforcement authorities. They're your first line of defense, and they can help you navigate the initial stages of your recovery process. The information you provide can also help them track down the fraudsters and prevent others from falling into the same trap. Next, you'll want to reach out to your bank or financial institution. They have protocols in place for situations like this and can help you recover lost funds, if possible. They can also secure your accounts to prevent further unauthorized transactions. Regulatory bodies also play a key role in this process. In the United States, for instance, the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, is a primary resource for victims of financial fraud. They can provide you with information and assistance to help you recover. Reporting the fraud to the FTC also helps them collect data to understand trends and patterns in financial fraud, which in turn aids in prevention efforts. Though the wheels of justice may sometimes turn slowly, it's important to remember that law enforcement and regulatory bodies are on your side. They work tirelessly to track down and prosecute those responsible for financial fraud. In addition to these steps, you may want to consult with a lawyer who specializes in financial fraud cases. They can guide you through the complex legal landscape and help you pursue additional avenues for recovery. However, it's crucial to keep in mind that while these are available, prevention remains the best defense against financial fraud. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and always approach financial opportunities with a healthy dose of skepticism. Remember, the world of finance is not a lawless wilderness. Our protections in place, but it is ultimately up to you to guard against financial fraud. And with that, you now are equipped with the knowledge to handle and prevent financial fraud. If you find this information helpful and want to stay informed on how to protect yourself, make sure to this video and subscribe to 10 Billion Club. We're here to keep you safe in a world where financial scams are all too common. Protect your wealth, protect your future. Subscribe now.